All right, this next one is Battlefield should be dead by now. By Going Indie. It's the channel's name.
This was one of the biggest shooters in the world. It was the Call of Duty killer. Why? Because unlike COD, it was like the chaos of real war. At least kind of. I mean, it had skyscrapers collapsing, jets dogfighting, tanks rolling across the map,
Yeah.
some lunatic who jumped out midair, rocketing another plane, and climbed back into the cockpit. Battlefield was legendary. And then it all fell apart. EA broke 3 things that made Battlefield special. 3 things that destroyed.
And I thought 2042 was gonna be that game, bro. I pre-ordered that one and everything. I'm saying like, yo, straight multiplayer. This shit finna be fire. I played the beta for the, yo.
Players' trust. And now, one man is trying to bring it back from the dead and regain that trust. But is Battlefield making a comeback? Can it finally beat COD at its own game? Or is it heading to its grave? To find out, we need to go back to 1942. Not the year, the game. Before it, shooters were mostly arena shooters, tight spaces, and very few players. But not this one. 1942 had a giant map where you could drive just about anything. Tanks, jeeps, fighters, bombers, submarines, battleships, and even aircraft carriers. But it wasn't just vehicles. There was 64 players, tons of guns to choose from, and more importantly, classes. Scout, assault, anti-tank, medic, and engineer.
Wow.
Each played differently. They had their own special abilities, and they were fun in their own way. This made it more than just running around shooting bad guys. You had a role, a job, and something you were best at. There was something for everyone. 1942 was awesome. And for 2002, wildly cinematic. The game was so unique that it created its own subgenre, Battlefield likes. No one had ever seen anything like it before. And after release, EA saw the money and they just had to have it.
EA Games.
Challenge everything.
Of
But there was
course,
a
bro.
problem. As time went on, Battlefield was this small fish in a
Battlefield
big pond.
2142.
Biggest fish?
Wait, what the fuck? Wait. Wait.
Problem.
Wait.
As time went on,
The hell is this? Yo, I never heard of some shit like the 2142. Hello? And then we had 2042. Nah, that's weird. Nah, that's so weird. What the fuck? Nah, I gotta see some gameplay on that. Battlefield 2142. That is interesting.
Battlefield was this small fish in a big pond. And
Bad
the biggest fish?
company? Fire.
Call of Duty. And the series just kept winning. Activision didn't just have a grip on FPS games, but the entire industry. It was the biggest game in the world. But DICE was building something huge to finally compete.
Battlefield 3. You know, so cause I never played the
With
The
$100 million
multiplayer.
for marketing alone, EA and DICE were ready for war. But the opposition was pretty stacked. Modern Warfare
At least I
3
don't
was
think so.
releasing just a month later. This was the clash of the titans. EA and DICE talked the talk. But could they finally walk the walk? Well, let's see. They released the beta, and over 9 million players signed up. Then the game came out, and it blew up. It was classic Battlefield, but new, polished, and fun. Yet this game had something special, something new. For the past couple years, DICE had been experimenting with something groundbreaking. Literally.
oh yeah, like
Frostbite
destruction.
Engine, aka
Oh.
destructible buildings. They added this in Bad Company 1 and 2, but these were small lobby games. Battlefield 3 was the real deal. Blow holes in walls,
remember playing
knock
Bad
down
Company.
cover, or even destroy multi-story buildings. This set Battlefield apart. It was crucial for 2 reasons. One, it was cinematic as hell. It felt immersive, and it felt like a war zone. And 2, it was the game giving you feedback. Some of these houses might as well have been made of tofu. But that didn't matter. It made your weapons feel so impactful. What mattered wasn't the accurate physics or realism, but the fun. And I'll tell you what, jumping out of a fighter, shooting another with a rocket launcher, and jumping back inside sure ain't realistic, but it's epic and it's fun.
I've never seen that.
This was the final touch to that Battlefield formula. 64 players, vehicles, classes, and now destructible terrain. All combined into this incredible package. COD had dominated this scene, but Battlefield was starting to gain ground. With 3 selling over 17 million copies, almost 3 times Bad Company 2.
17 million?
It was still 9 million less than Modern Warfare 3, but they were catching up, and fast.
Nah, facts.
Battlefield 4 came out. Another
That's what I played.
Incredible game.
I remember playing Battlefield 4. I played Battlefield 3 also. I just didn't play the multiplayer. I don't think I played the multiplayer for Bad Company either. I played the campaign. I always like Battlefield for their campaign, bro. Like, their campaign would be so fire. But I think Bad Company is, like, up there for me, though. Then I played Hardline. It was eh. But then again, I feel like I was at the end, but I just never finished it. I think I gave it to somebody because I was just, like, bored of it. But then I think I played the multiplayer for Hardline, too. It was okay. I don't know. My fault. But nah, Battlefield 4, I think I mostly played the multiplayer of also.
Just amp things up even more. Same immersive, chaotic fun, but better. And I don't know how, but DICE just kept topping themselves with every single game. Most
Did people
World
like
War
Battlefield
games
1?
were set in World War II, but this next game was going back all the way to World War I. And in my opinion, Battlefield 1 nailed something that was crucial for Battlefield. Immersion. Call of Duty sounded good, it felt good to shoot, but it also kind of felt like a video game. Battlefield, especially Battlefield 1, man, that thing felt like a battlefield. The sound,
I didn't even
vision,
play the multiplayer for that.
color grading, and all that destruction. It felt like every game was this epic cinematic moment.
Yo, I lied. I think I did play the multiplayer for this. But just for a little bit. Just for a little bit. Or maybe that was 5. I'm not even sure, bro. They went 1 to 5 to 2042 to Battlefield we got right now. I didn't know what they was doing, honestly.
People don't mention this as much, but Battlefield is immersive. This is what makes Battlefield so special. Everything feels, or it felt, big. It's not a deathmatch lobby. It's a legitimate war zone. Anything can happen. Buildings falling, tanks fighting, fighters zooming overhead. There was nothing like Battlefield. Fans were just eating well with these games. They were eating perfection. People still debate which of these games is the best, and I still believe 1, but in all honesty, DICE at this time was unstoppable. Battlefield 1 sold over 15 million copies, with some estimating being much higher. And on the other side of the ring, Call of Duty, they had been knocked off and fallen off. Fans felt
and
that
Ghost
COD
had
was just getting stale. The last
had
few games
potential
like
to be
Ghost and
good.
Advanced Warfare were fun, but
That's the thing. Ghost, yo, I don't know what, and I can see some of the maps was annoying, but Ghost multiplayer was actually kind of fun. Especially with the alien shit. I didn't think I would like that, but it was actually pretty fun. I just don't know about the campaign. The campaign was okay. I just don't like how it ended. I want Ghost 2. Still, to this day. But we'll never get it. But the multiplayer for Ghost was actually kind of fun, gang. Like, I don't get what people be complaining about. But these are the people that liked Advanced Warfare, which was okay to me. I appreciate the campaigns, like, later, like, years later, but I just didn't know about the multiplayer and the zombies and shit. It was alright.
They lacked that something. And the cherry on top was that only a month after Battlefield 1 came out, COD Infinite Warfare came out. And fans were not happy.
Yup.
The trailer was the most...
And you know what's so crazy? I'm gonna stop pausing. I'm sorry, but I am reacting to this video, so you gotta deal with it. Bro, we hated this. Yo, we did. We hated this shit. We didn't. It's crazy because the COD community is so toxic and diverse, bro. It's like, it's insane because years later, we appreciate Infinite Warfare, actually. I think as a whole, to me, it was the story. I appreciate the story as a whole. And during COVID, I went back to play Infinite Warfare, bro. I actually enjoyed the multiplayer. For some reason, I enjoyed the multiplayer. I'm saying like, yo, like what the heck? I mean, yes, it was like buggy. People were doing like weird stuff in the multiplayer, just like mods or whatever the fuck. But I actually had fun. But we was just getting tired of the whole futuristic stuff, and it's just like, dude, like, when are we having like boots on the ground, no jetpacks, no like nothing? That was literally the freaking issue. You know, that's why it did so bad. But years later, now we're just like, dang, we're out here saying sorry. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're actually apologizing to Infinite Warfare. Crazy.
Trailer, and at the time, the second most disliked video on all of YouTube. Why?
Sheesh.
Fans did not want a shooter in
Shooter in
space.
space,
At least
facts.
Not Call of Duty. Activision had completely misread the room, and they knew it, saying the game didn't resonate with fans. Surprise, surprise. I don't know the exact numbers of that game, but I know it fell short. Many of those COD fans actually moved to Battlefield at that time, and it shows us something really crucial. It wasn't just about a game in space, it was about identity. Gamers have expectations. Battlefield 1 and Infinite Warfare were both big departures from what had been done in the past. Yet the former kept identity. They kept this core experience, the immersion, the chaos, the big battles, and the soul. While COD, they went too far. Even if the game was polished, right, that Advanced Warfare looked fun, it didn't matter. It's about tone and feel. It's identity, right? And they had broken it. Fans trusted Battlefield to be Battlefield. Fans trust COD to be COD. And so DICE and EA had won the battle, at least at that time. They just needed to keep that momentum. All they had to do was now not fumble the bag. But
Yo, I can't wait for a Battlefield game where we take shit to space. Yeah, I just want to see that for shits and giggles. Honestly, bro. I know the fans might be pissed for that, but yo, I actually just want to see I want to see that just for laughs, bro. I want to see that so bad for some reason, bro. And it's crazy because this is coming from a person that mostly plays Call of Duty, then Battlefield. I'm slowly, actually no, I'm playing Battlefield more than COD right now. Like, I haven't played what, six? Is six out? I forgot how many Black Ops there's too many Black Ops games that's out right now. It's actually kind of disgusting. But I don't even play COD like that no more. Where I'm playing these other first person or third person shooter games other than COD, because COD would be in my rotation heavy, especially Halo. I don't even play them no more. It's wicked. And now I'm out here playing Battlefield other than COD. Crazy.
in EA, they would fumble it, and man, they fumbled it hard.
Let's eat. No.
Battlefield is actually fun. Like, actually fun.
Following the success of Battlefield 1, the rumors came out that the next game would be World War II. Fans were hyped and couldn't wait to see 1942, but in modern graphics.
Ooh.
This would be awesome.
That would be
And
fire.
on the 23rd of May of 2018, EA dropped a new trailer, Battlefield 5. And something just was off.
He said something was just off about Battlefield 5.
What the hell is this?
They said it was
Nah, facts. Yo, what? Yo, so I wasn't tripping, bro, because when they dropped this joint, bro, when they dropped Battlefield 5, we were just like, yo, what the hell? Duh, where's the 1942 remastered? I would have actually played that.
off.
What? That would have made more sense. It would probably gravitate towards me.
What the hell is this?
EA said it was World War II like you've never seen it before. People ran around the Western Front, yet they had katanas, they had war paint, and prosthetics. The tone of this game was wildly different to the ones in the past. Some people said there's women fighting on the Western Front, and they were upset about that. And some other people got pissed at the people who had a problem with women in the game. It was a fun little circle of anger going on YouTube and Reddit, but
boy.
that wasn't the real problem here. Battlefield
Please tell me it
1
was the real
had female
problem.
soldiers too, and dude, nobody cared. At least
Right.
most didn't. Something else was happening. Pretty much all Battlefield games are unrealistic, but they feel realistic, if that makes sense. Right? Battlefield is fun, but as I said, it's immersive. And this game, it didn't look immersive. It felt goofy. It felt cartoonish. After Battlefield 1, which was beyond cinematic and just so immersive, this right here, this was a joke. Fans were worried the game was becoming more like Fortnite than Battlefield. It was nothing intense.
Oh shit! Guess what we got? We got Battle Royale for Battlefield 6. Yo, man, it might be fun now. It might be fun now.
Again. So people were annoyed. But most gamers, we have a pretty short attention span. We get angry for a bit, and then we forget about it. But in just under 5 days, the trailer for Battlefield 5 had over 320,000 dislikes. Something had happened to piss everyone off. Instead of accepting their mishandling of the game and promising to do better, EA doubled down and turned a minor controversy into a culture war. Patrick Sutherland, EA CCO, said, "We stand up for the cause. Because I think those people who don't understand it, well, you have two choices. Either accept it or don't buy the game. I'm fine with either." EA literally just made the same mistake that Call of Duty made. Fans wanted Battlefield to be Battlefield. They wanted an epic, gritty military shooter, and this was not it. Yeah, they made also a bigger second mistake. They criticized their own fans. Developers can have a vision. But
You know what's so crazy? Fans don't like that. You see, fans like to be. You see, because I'm a fan of something too. I don't want to say we like to be spoiled and fed, because that's most of the reasons, but also loved. Like, if we're out here supporting your games that you brought to the table, like food, like, you know what I mean, we're gonna eat it. If it looked good, we're gonna be like, oh, okay. And then we have a little bite. We grab our fork, knife, like a steak. Get a piece, eat it. If it tastes good, it smells good, we want more. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're the customer. But, hey, man. I don't know what EA was doing with this, bro. That's basically saying, like, yo, we don't have the same steak that we had before, but we're trying something new. And they gave you some BS on your plate, especially if it's a smaller portion. It's just like, yo, what the like, what are you trying to say? At first, you loved me. Like, you know what I mean? You did this whole, oh, welcome in. Oh, I'm gonna seat you to your table to just, oh, you can sit whatever. And here goes this BS. Wow. I mean, like, just wow.
Fans are the ones buying the game. So
Yeah.
companies need to listen to what fans want. Surprising, I know. Listen to the customer. But this flavor, this style of Battlefield, dude, it was not cutting it. And simply put, fans were vocal, and EA told them to get lost when they got vocal. So players did exactly that. They didn't buy the game, and those that did found mountains and mountains of issues. 5 not only sucked due to a variety of other reasons, but it was a buggy mess. And not surprisingly, it sold less than half the amount of copies of Battlefield 1. EA CEO believed its poor sales were because they prioritized single player over the Battle Royale mode.
Am I so out of touch?
Wait. Battlefield had Battle Royale? Wait, hold on. What am I thinking? I might be slow.
It's the children.
I didn't even know
And then
that.
came the next announcement, Battlefield 2042.
2042. Holy
Fans
crap.
were hesitantly excited. It looked fun. It
I
looked
was one of them.
big. They even showed the Rendezvous in the trailer. But many fans were confused. The series had gone from World War II to the future.
Exactly.
Technology, crazy weather. The game was pretty different. And it had been about 8 years since the last regular modern Battlefield. Not the future, just modern day warfare. And that modern identity was being strained in the industry. It was being used a lot. If that wasn't bad enough, EA was taking newer inspiration. EA believed 5 failed not because of bugs or tone or bad PR, but because they focused on single player. So the solution was to make a battle royale. Yes, EA, this is what fans clearly wanted, another battle royale. I mean, the company already had one with Apex Legends, but I guess EA needed one more. And they probably jumped on board because Call of Duty had also jumped on the bandwagon with Warzone, and they were making bank.
At first, I don't even know what's the state of Warzone. I don't even play that shit no more. Like, Warzone is not even fun anymore, bro. For a while. Like, that, I don't even know. I remember the first time I played Warzone. I think it was with my brother. But that was, like... And it's crazy because they had their own little story going in Warzone, which I was actually intrigued. That's why I kept playing Call of Duty. I'm saying, like, every Call of Duty that comes out goes to Warzone. And whatever happens in Warzone somewhat hints in the main storyline. Somewhat. But they don't, like, focus on it, though. Like, you know what I mean? And I like the events that they had. Like, the events in Warzone were always, I don't want to say always, actually, somewhat fun. Oh.
And all EA saw was the money.
Yep.
So 2042, when it released, had no single player. It had huge maps and up to 128 players. Sounds great, right? But the iconic classes, what made Battlefield so good in the beginning, they're gone. Replacing them were specialists. Weapons were no longer tied to your class, and now you had named characters with special abilities. A whole bunch of them.
I didn't even know that.
It looked fun, but it didn't look like Battlefield.
That was fire, I
Fans were
thought.
getting nervous, and it just only got worse. The game was delayed, but it was only delayed for a month, so can't be too bad, right? Then came the beta in October. It was a disaster. 5's release was bad, but this was something else. But DICE reassured players that this would all be fixed. In fact, the
I was
beta
somewhat
build was
having
3
fun.
months old. DICE general manager said that, "We want you all to know that in these final few weeks leading to launch, we're making huge strides and are super focused on delivering an amazing experience." And then, on November 19th, the game came out. 2042 was unplayable. Most of the issues were still there from the beta. Yet there was even more. Players noticed terrain destruction had a huge downgrade. Before you could level buildings. And now you could maybe break a wall. Plus, some parts of the game didn't work as intended. It ended up being the lowest rated Battlefield game ever. And on Steam, even worse. This wasn't a good game. And it also didn't feel like Battlefield. So how did this happen? Well, behind the scenes, things were a disaster. Battlefield was being overhauled to be a battle royale, but also it was on a brand new engine, Frostbite 3. The new engine took 18 months on its own. In 2042, well, the game only ended up having 15 months of development time.
Huh?
It just gets worse. Before development on 2042, DICE was just shedding talent. But not just any talent, senior developers, general managers, heads of department, people who together had literal centuries of experience. So why was this all happening? Well, surprise, surprise, working under EA was hell. Hours were long, and development on the new engine was pretty tedious. Not to mention, DICE was in a chokehold. All of their ideas were being shot down and replaced by EA's big ambitions. Most of the devs on 2042 were young and new and had to navigate an even bigger challenge, which was 2042 had to be on previous gen consoles. I'm talking Xbox One and PS4, consoles that were nearly a decade old at the time. Reminder, this game had 128 players, giant maps, and next-gen graphics. It had to have been optimization hell for these developers. Basically impossible. I don't even know how they were supposed to accomplish that. But EA, I guess, didn't want to isolate those old players. So DICE ended up having to scramble to get this game done, and they couldn't do it alone. So EA brought in 3 separate studios to help. Ripple Effect, EA Gothenburg, and Criterion Games. Criterion even had to halt development on Need for Speed just to help DICE out. Navigating between 4 companies in different countries on one project had to have been a nightmare. Organizing just one team is so hard. But 4 companies plus Big Papa EA looming over them. This
What?
ended up being the biggest development team for any Battlefield. And much of the staff were still stuck in lockdown during all of this. This task was impossible. Yet, EA wouldn't push back the deadline. EA only gave them an extra few weeks, and that was it. So obviously, 2042 crashed and burned. EA had set up DICE to fail. Not only did 2042 break the first two problems, identity and actually listening to fans, but they broke the third. The third aspect to keep fans' trust or lose it. And that's
Quality.
quality. Fans might disagree on what makes Battlefield special, but all of them want a game that actually works. Most games have some bugs.
It's crazy because I feel like 2042 would have been one of those games that would have stayed out for a while, and it was like fun, and it was around for like a while, bro. I wanted 2042 to succeed actually.
But this was different. Not only that, DICE promised the game would be much better than the beta after launch. And it wasn't. This really hurt players' trust. DICE had lied, and EA wasn't being just sloppy, they were being negligent. They stifled DICE's control, annoyed senior leaders to make them leave, and expected a giant game in 15 months. EA, surprisingly, I guess is how many times I can say that, but they let greed lead their way and had completely broken fans' trust. They had abused and ignored those fans and pushed them over the edge. And now many of them are gone. After the game launched, the remaining senior staff were done too, including Alexander Grondal, executive producer who left after 14 years at DICE. And sadly, many more followed. And it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
They were burned out, they were overworked, and they left DICE for better pastures. Fans, as I said, also moved on to other shooters. Battlefield wasn't even on thin ice anymore. It was gone. And fans were just sad. They mourned their favorite series, but with bad sales, who knew if EA would even bother with Battlefield again? But EA finally, at some point, did realize they messed up. They knew if they wanted fans to come back, they had to regain their trust. They had to get the identity and the quality right. But also, listen to what fans really wanted. Not make what executives want or what critics want, but what fans want. So EA actually did something unexpected. Instead of throwing Battlefield to the side or forcing DICE to make another game right away, they began investing more money. In December, EA merged all 4 studios, including DICE, into one major team, Battlefield Studios. That's great, but that wasn't the problem. The series lacked something else, something important. A clear, experienced leader to guide this game. Someone who knew what fans wanted. And luckily, EA found the perfect man. This is the man who co-founded Infinity Ward, who made Modern Warfare 1 and 2. Many call these the best FPS games of all time. He also co-founded Respawn, who made Apex Legends, Jedi Fallen Order, and best of all, Titanfall 2, a shooter so good, fans are still begging for a sequel 10 years later.
Facts,
Vince
bro.
Zampella. Once Battlefield's biggest rival, the man behind the most
Vince Zampella, bro. Is he the GOAT?
beloved and critically acclaimed of all Call of Duty games, was now here with Battlefield to save it. And fans were happy. Perhaps because it felt like there was some hope. But then Battlefield Studios, after this hire, after all these changes, they went quiet. They stopped talking for a long time. But finally, in February of 2025, something caught the attention of fans. Battlefield Labs, a pre-alpha of a new game.
I think we seen the trailer for it when they was in the making of Battlefield Studios to Battlefield Labs.
Something was different. First off, the gameplay looked good, like real good. It wasn't World War II. It didn't have this wacky action or any of this weird sci-fi stuff. It felt modern and real, like Battlefield. The identity felt like it was back on track. It was modern. It was gritty. It was immersive. It was Battlefield. But Vince wasn't done. The focus was now firmly on player feedback, listening to fans. Vince explained that this game has so much potential. To find that potential, with
That's
us being
smart.
Pre-alpha, now is the time to test the experiences our team have been building for our upcoming launch.
Because for Labs is like, that's a mode where you could like, I don't know, like do anything, right? With past Battlefield titles and shit like that. Like you could have like World War II guns in in a modern map or some shit. Something like that. I wasn't that too deep into Battlefield, but I was trying to keep up to date. I know that had to be fun.
Byron Bede, the franchise general manager, also said, "We have to find gameplay that really resonates with the players and then build on that." These leaders got it. This wasn't EA, the overlord, demanding a battle royale and you'll buy it and like it. This was DICE from the old days, and Battlefield was following the fun again. And then, on July 22nd of 2025, came the first trailer.
Yeah, this one's actually kind of fun.
Fans were flabbergasted. Where had this game been all of our lives? People were flocking to the trailers, and many for an unexpected reason. But firstly, the game looked incredible. The tone, it was all back. The iconic classes, back. Terrain destruction, back. Lobby sizes, huge. It was beautiful. They had nailed it. And fans were thrilled. It was like an old friend had returned. And the trailer got tens of millions of views in just a matter of days and hundreds of thousands of likes. But behind the hype, there was something deeper. Something else was going on that just was pushing fans from hype to almost ravenous about this game. Something else was going on in the industry, and we need to look no further than Battlefield's old rival, Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Now, Black Ops 7 was announced around the same time with a strange science fiction premise. And this showed a bigger problem. Something that Battlefield had been struggling with. Call of Duty had now lost its identity. Why? 2 words. Crossover skins. The whole industry continues to try to be Fortnite. For some reason, Call of Duty had lost its charm and turned into Activision's crossover of the month. And no surprise, fans were sick of it. I mean, what even is this? Call of Duty lost its identity. And with Black Ops 7 coming out, frustration had reached a boiling point. What were fans wanting? They were wanting a grittier, fun, immersive shooter. Not this. And Battlefield was happy to give it to him. Battlefield's design director said, it has to be grounded. That is what Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 was. It was all soldiers on the ground. It's going to be like this. I don't think it needs Nicki Minaj. Let's just keep it real, keep it grounded. And in just 1 hour, Battlefield 6's trailer got more likes than Black Ops 7. With a fraction of the views. And then DICE just put the icing on the donut with their second trailer.
Jimmy, bro. Wait, what? I didn't see this.
Sound check. Okay, boys. We're here to do one thing. One thing.
What?
Who was that? Doesn't matter. Let's move.
I love this ad. It is just fantastic. It's so petty, but in a perfect way. Just poking fun at COD and bringing back that old 90s and 2000s competitive video game marketing. It's great stuff. Just 2 thumbs up. But even though Battlefield was riding high, one comment continues to pop up over and over. Thousands and thousands of them on every trailer, on every article, gameplay video, and that is no pre-orders. Trust had been broken, and fans weren't ready to hand over their money just yet. And they were all chanting the same thing, hold the line. So EA and Battlefield Studios, they had to earn back that trust. The signs were good,
I have a long
but
way.
there's still one more thing that players were wanting to know. Quality. It had to be functional. No game-breaking bugs like 2042. So the question is, will 6 be any good?
This is Battlefield, baby.
So far, it's fun. Annoying somewhat
Battlefield again,
because I don't,
The
not
game
really
was
into
amazing,
Battlefield like that, but
polished, refined. It felt like a finished product.
it's fun.
Had some bugs, for sure. But compared to 2042,
Oh
this
yeah,
was great. This was
terrible.
Right? Not only was it fun, it was cinematic, and it worked.
Never mind.
Gunner. Oh, damn.
Yo,
But what about the destruction? Well, DICE heard people's
man.
complaints about 2042, one of the many. So they cranked it up, way up. It felt like Battlefield had that magic formula again. You know, with these buildings, the classes, the terrain, the big vehicles, all these players. And again, most of all, you could feel the immersion. And fans, they're returning. They're even resurfacing to share their old favorite memories of old games. And after the beta closed, Players were sitting with that Battlefield itch like a sponge. With
They're like, I need this game to come out.
Somehow got the 3 aspects right with the beta. First, they got identity. They nailed the immersion, the classes, the destruction, the vehicles, that Battlefield feeling. Second, they are listening to fans with Battlefield Labs. They're taking feedback. They're building a game fans want, not just what developers want. And thirdly, they're building it to be of quality. Battlefield 6 is looking to be good, polished, and fun. And all of these are part of something bigger: trust. EA and DICE broke fans' trust. And so the question is, will 6 be enough to rebuild? Battlefield looks to be making a turn right at the perfect time when its competitor, Call of Duty, is looking to be making the same mistakes EA has been making for the past 8 years. Did EA pull it off? Did they rebuild that trust? Is Battlefield alive? Or is it finally dead?
I mean, EA just got bought in Saudi Arabia, right? Or something like that.
What do I think?
They
Honestly,
went private.
this is the first time in years that it has felt like a Battlefield again to me.
Tanks, 3 tanks, 3 tanks, 3 tanks, 4 tanks, 4 tanks, 5 tanks, Tyler, 5. Get the out of here. There's 5 tanks.
Holy shit.
The calls for no pre-orders just changed to something else.
We are back, baby. We are back. We're back.
Yeah, I'm glad that they happy, bro. I'm glad the Battlefield fans
7
are
million sales in
happy
just 3
as
days.
heck right now. That's so cool.
172 million matches in the first weekend, plus 15 million hours streamed over that same weekend. And the craziest part, wildly positive reviews. This was a complete 180 to how 2042 was received. Fans breathed a deep sigh of relief. Battlefield, dude, it was back. It's not perfect. No game is ever perfect. Fans are being very vocal with their feedback, but the developers are listening. Bugs are being patched quick, along with balance changes to where players want. Plus, there's more coming and no sign of crossover skins. As a Battlefield veteran, I'm safe to say that this is the best Battlefield ever. Not only were fans
That's
celebrating,
fire.
so were the developers. Byron Beach said, "First and foremost, we want to thank our players. Together, with our players, we've had a singular goal: to craft the best Battlefield ever." And Vince Zampella said, "I want to express our sincere gratitude to our global Battlefield studios and passionate community that has helped us get to this point. We have so much more to come." Vince and the team got the 3 aspects right.
That's
The immersion,
crazy.
The classes, the destruction, the vehicle.
Yo, this man, like, yo, one of them stayed and they just got back to the ingredients, bro. They went back to the chalkboard, actually, and just be like, yo, we followed these 3 rules and shit happened along the way. People got laid off, like, stuff like that. EA wasn't treating their employees right, to getting back on the chalkboard. Battlefield Labs, you feel me? And went back to their 3 rules. That's fire. Why can't... Never mind.
Battlefield feeling. It had quality. It was polished and fun. Just day one. How often is it that a big AAA game comes out and not only works, but it's this good? But most of all, the developers listened closely to fans with Battlefield Labs, taking feedback and building a game fans actually want, not just what developers want. And that's why Battlefield is back. For years, EA chased trends. But now, Battlefield remembered something simple. The game doesn't need to be anything else. It just needs to be Battlefield. The experience, the feel that fans itch to play, which nothing else can satisfy but Battlefield. 7 million players, they all came back for that feeling, for that promise. They were returning home. Battlefield was never dead. It came close, but it had just forgotten what made it Battlefield. Now fans are welcoming it back.
I just realized he didn't even mention Hardline. Wait. Wait, I need to know the thoughts about Hardline. I just peeped.
Trust is being rebuilt. And that's why I believe Battlefield will never die.
That's a good video. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Shout out to Going Indie, bro. That was fire, gang. But nah, hey, Battlefield ain't dead. It's somewhat... actually, like, it was going through things just like any game or franchise would. You know what I mean? Of course, it's gonna go through something, right? But it didn't lose its like that spark, bruh. Dang, I wish I was a Battlefield fan, bro. Like, it must be nice, bro. It must be nice. It must be nice, man. But nah, yeah. Battlefield ain't dead, bruh. So I'm glad that y'all Battlefield fans are happy with the stuff that you got, bro. I'm happy for y'all, actually.